Good morning. How are you all? Primary 4. I am Miss Khloud. I miss you all. We are in the second term and with our first lesson, which is human digestive system. So before we talked about the digestive system, we should know what is the characteristics of the living organism. Okay, and the first thing I have a nutrition, number 2 respiration, number 3 sensation, number 4 excretion, number 5 reproduction, and finally number 6 motion. Okay, so after this we will talk about the structure of living organisms. So the human body consists of many systems. Each system has its own function. So this is our system. As an example, the first system, which is a digestive system, which is digest and absorb the food. Number 2, respiratory system, which is made by which a respiration process, and the circulatory system, which is made carrying digested food and oxygen for all body cells, and this is the figure of the circulatory system. Number 4, urinary system, so by which I can getting rid of the wastes, harmful substance. Nervous system, make us feel and hear and smell and taste. And finally reproductive system, which giving a birth of the new babies. Okay, what is meant by the digestion process? Digestion process is the changing the food from the complex form into a simple form to let the body be benefit from it. Okay? What is the structure of the digestive system? Digestive system consists of digestive canal and digestive canal supplementaries. Okay? In the first digestive canal, it is a long tube or long pipe of the length between 9 to 10 meter. It started with a mouth and ended with the anus, and it consists of mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and the small intestine, large intestine. Okay? Digestive canal supplementaries, which is as 3. In the first, I have the salivary gland. I found it inside the mouth, which secreted a saliva. Number 2, I have the liver, which secreted bile juice. Number 3, I have a pancreas, by which secreted pancreatic juice. Okay, this is the structure of the digestive system. I have here the salivary glands, and it is our mouth. After this, I have the tongue, pharynx, esophagus, long tube like this. After this, I have the stomach, duodenum and ileum from the small intestine. I have the large intestine in the after this. Okay, and it ends with anus. Okay, all this are digestive canal. But the digestive canal supplement, which is salivary gland, liver, and pancreas. Okay, we will start with the structure of the human digestive system. I have in the first mouth. The structure of the mouth, it is the cavity contain teeth. Their number in adult from 32 teeth, but 16 in the upper jaw and 16 in the lower jaw. Okay, by which I can divide it into 4 incisors, 2 canine, and 10 molars. Again, 4 incisors like this, 2 canine, and 10 molar. Okay, what is the function of the incisors and canine? By which I can cut and tear the food into small substance. Okay, number 2 molars, by which I can grinding the food to be easy for swallowing. Okay, number 2, I have the tongue. The function of the tongue, by which mixing the food with the saliva. This tongue mix the food with saliva. Number 2, it help in food swallowing easily. Number 3, tasting of food. I can taste the food by the tongue. Number 3, I have a salivary gland. Salivary gland has 3 pairs of glands secreted saliva. Okay, saliva contain enzymes which digest starch and change it to sugar. Again, saliva contain enzyme which digest starch substance and change it to sugar, and I can find it in the fries. Okay, I have the pharynx which is a common cavity between digestive system and respiratory system, between these two systems. Okay, the function of the pharynx, which is connect between mouth and esophagus, by which food can pass from the mouth to the esophagus. Number 2, I have the esophagus. Structure of the esophagus, it is a muscular tube. The function of the esophagus, pass food from the mouth to the esophagus. Okay. Number 3, I have the stomach. It is a muscular sac. This is the shape of the stomach. The function of the stomach, it secreted gastric juice, which is digestive protein incompletely by mixing food with its digestive juice, which is a gastric juice. Gastric juice secreted by the stomach, which change food to semi-liquid substance. Okay. Small intestine, it is the length 7 meter. It has a coiled shape like this, or zigzag shape in abdominal cavity. Inside our abdominal cavity consists of two parts. The first part I will call it a duodenum, and the second part I will call it ileum. Its wall consists of a small villi like this. This is the shape of the villi. So this is the structure of the small intestine. Inside it a villi. What is the function of the small intestine? Complete digestion of food by 3 juices. Okay? By bile juice from liver, bile juice secreted from liver, digested fats and changed it into fatty emulsion. Okay? It digested fats only. Pancreatic juice from pancreas, secreted from the pancreas, both of them poured in the duodenum, in the small intestine, the first part duodenum. Number 3, intestinal juice poured in ileum, and the second function of the small intestine, absorption of the food. So in the first, I complete digestion of the food I had. After that, I absorb the food. So food is absorbed through this villi and reaches blood, which carry it to all body cells. The last part, large intestine. So the structure of large intestine is started from the end of small intestine and end in anus. Okay, what is the function of the large intestine? A rectum in large intestine make absorption of the water from food remains. Again, it absorbs water from food remain. Number 2, getting rid of the wastes outside the body through anus. I can eject up wastes from the anus. Okay, what will happen by adding drops of this bile juice to a tube containing food, oil and water and shaking it well? Okay, oil and water will mix together forming emulsion. Okay, so how can I keep our digestive system healthy? By chewing the food well. Don't eat food contain large amount of the fat, fast food. Don't eat food contain a flavor component. Okay, number 4, don't eat food from the street to avoid diseases. Number 5, practice sport, a lot of sports, do a lot of exercises. Okay, thank you, primary 4.